Oh man, normally I don't do videos anymore, but I'm just gonna put this on my bowling channel because this ain't really got nothing to do with nothing other than the fact that I'm just sick and tired of the political bullshit that goes on in the bowling community, especially around in the 518. I have my personal gripes with a lot of the shit that's been going on, especially shit when it comes down to handicap. That's for one thing. I'm not a fan of giving anyone bonus pins. And the reason why I'm not a fan of that is because where is the inspiration to want to become good? And when I have this conversation with other people, the excuse is, well, not everybody can do it. And maybe my outlook is a little bit selfish, and I will admit to that. But there's a reason why I'm not playing in the NBA. There's a reason why I'm not playing Major League Baseball. And I love baseball and basketball growing up. And I really wanted to play either one professionally. I really wanted to do that. But life isn't fair. Through injury, especially to my right elbow for baseball, for basketball, I didn't have the height. So that's why I tried to go with baseball, and I ended up injuring my elbow. And I had wanted to be a pitcher, and I just, I actually hurt it playing third base. And it was what it was. I had to find something else to do. And my thing is this, and this is why I personally feel why bowling in my area, in the 518 area, this is why it sucks. When I go out of town and bowl, the bowling alleys are packed. And it's competitive. And there's so many people that they actually have two divisions. They'll have a scratch division, and then they'll have a handicap division. And it's like, when you bowl in my area, you don't get that. You get a shit ton of handicap bowlers, and then they basically tell the scratch bowlers, well, you're good enough, so if you make your average, you'll beat the handicap bowler. Here's why I don't like handicap, and why I will always be against #free no free pins. 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was a 210, 208 bowler. 5 years before that, I was probably a 198 to a 202 type bowler. And we can keep going back further and further in time, and I averaged lower and lower and lower. I remember there was a situation one time when I was bowling when I bowled in juniors, and I kept track of my this fucking idiot. I swear, man, this has nothing to do with bowling, but some idiot just cut me off. But this idiocy, that idiocy correlates with the idiocy of handicap. No one wants to get it out the dirt no more. I was going into a story before this idiot cut me off about how they purposely suppressed my average. as a young kid, they suppressed my average. After the weeks of denying it and saying, no, this is what you're averaging. This is what you're averaging. They kept denying it. I started keeping track of my own scores. And in a 4-week period, in 1 month, I looked at where my average started, what it was, because I only had scores for that month. And I tallied them up. And for the month, my average was around probably, if I recall correctly, at that time, probably around 210 was my average. The thing about it was my average stayed at 198 forever. Meanwhile, for a 4 week, which is 12 games, I had maybe two games below 198. So by average, there's no way in hell my average still should have been a 198 when out of 12 games I had 2 under 190 under 198. And when I finally confronted them with the statistics, I said, look, these are all my scores from the past month. Here's my average for the month. Here's my average currently. 198 was my average in September. 198 was my average in October. Here it is in December. My average is still 198. And for the last month of November, I averaged about 210. How is that possible? So after I confronted them and brought the receipts, so to speak, even though they were kind of like my own kept receipts, they finally admitted to me that, well, we didn't want to hurt the other kids' feelings. I said, what? What do you mean hurt the other kids' feelings? Yeah, so this idiot, sidetrack, this idiot cuts in front of me so they can go to Stewart's. I hate this world, bro. I'm starting to hate this world. So they admitted that, yeah, we've been suppressing your average. After telling me they weren't. This was the 99-2000 season. I was 17 going on 18. But this took place in 1999. Fast forward, if you take the difference between both leagues, I do 2 leagues, Monday and a Tuesday. I'm like 230 Tuesday night, 225, 226 on Monday night. So if you combine the averages, it's about like maybe 228, 227 is what I'm averaging for the year. But they take your highest average, which last year I averaged 232. So when I do tournaments, I get no handicap. I get nothing. Now, I'm bowling sometimes on harder patterns or challenge patterns, or going to I bowl in the UBA, so sometimes I go to other places and bowl there. They don't necessarily have quote unquote a house shot. At least if they do, it's nothing like the house that I bowl out of. And so I get no handicap when I go and do these tournaments out of town or whatever. And I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is people being able to stay where they are for 20, 30 years, milking the handicap system. This is why I don't like handicap. It makes people comfortable staying right where they are because they know they get a benefit. It's the same reason why they tell people who live in the projects, you can't get a job or you lose your benefits. It's no different. So when I talk to people who are against the welfare system But then all of a sudden, I talk to them about the handicap system, and they're like, well, you know. Now all of a sudden they backtracking. So needless to say, after the 23-24 season, I won't say retiring from bowling, but I'm retiring from bowling competitively, meaning I will not be bowling in any leagues next year. I will not be bowling in any tournaments next year. If my UBA team will still keep me, I will bowl in the UBA, but I outside of that, I'm done donating my money to people who don't put the fucking work in. They don't go to the gym like I do. They don't try to change their eating habits like I did, so that I'm not having inflammation in my joints. I once bowled 9 out of 10 days and felt fine on the 11th day. This past year, from October into November, I bowled 9 out of 10 days. I damn near was bowling every single day. I bowled Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, bowled Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. All in a stretch. And I had to sacrifice eating all the things that I probably would want to eat. Pasta, sweets, everything. I had to abstain from all of that for a week. Sometimes just doing a water fast. I had to do all of that to be able to be in tip-top shape, to be able to perform. That's the kind of dedication that I put into this. Yet, it's okay for me to lose to somebody who's getting handicapped, who don't put in 1/4 of the work that I put in. They don't be on the lanes practicing like I practice. They don't be in the gym like I be in the gym, which as of late, I haven't really been in the gym, but I've been lifting weights in my basement, on the elliptical in my basement, trying to work on my cardio. They don't put the work in that I put in. Yeah, and still they get benefits, and I get nothing. In league, I get the worst picks in the draft. All the talent is gone by the time I get it. Last year I finished with the highest average, which meant this year I get the worst picks. And not worst picks as in person, but the talent level isn't what higher picks get. Yet I'm supposed to overcome that. So working hard and trying to become a top tier bowler is not beneficial. If anything, there is no reward for your hard work. There's just penalties. You get no handicap. You get the worst pick in the draft. Then why am I sitting here putting all this work in? Why am I sitting here trying to make myself a better bowler when I get penalized for it? And this is what's killing the game. At least in the 518. This is what's killing the game. Nobody wants to compete. Everybody wants to do these fucking handicap tournaments. And if you're not qualified to bowl in it, or you don't have the skill level to bowl in it, I'm sorry, my friend. I don't have the skill level to be in Major League Baseball. I don't even have the skill level to become a professional bowler. I can participate in PBA regionals and stuff if that's something every time I try to, I always have something going on, which is annoying. But I can do that, but I shouldn't go in there with the expectation that I should be getting bonus pins over professionals because, they're better than me. Competition is competition. And if you don't want to compete, then you shouldn't be in bowling. And you also shouldn't be getting bonus pins. But people don't see it how I see it. And for that reason, that's why I'm calling it quits, so to speak. I'm always going to probably bowl, so I'm never going to say, oh, I'm retiring. But I'm just not going to be competing against people who are getting free pins. They changed it. We're doing a little singles thing in my Tuesday night league. And now all of a sudden, second half, they want to make it more competitive. You want to make it more competitive? Inspire people to become more competitive. Inspire people to put in that work. Because I'm telling you, the harder that it is to get, the more sweet it is when you finally get it. I'm proof of that. I worked my ass off the last 10 years to become the best bowler I could be. And all I've gotten in the last 3 to 4 years is penalties, punishment, no handicap, worst picks in the draft. So why am I still doing it? Why am I still doing it? And that's why I said this. I hate this world. I hate what this world has become. I hate it. Because now we reward mediocrity. We reward people who don't want to put the work in, while we punish the people who put the work in. It's no different than what the federal government's doing to people right now. People who are still out here working and trying to make ends meet for themselves, they get taxed. They get extra taxed. Fuck, where the fuck I live at? Not only do I have to pay the town taxes, I have to pay a village tax, along with school tax. And meanwhile, these motherfuckers don't even have enough buses to pick up my kid on time to take him to school. But yet I have to pay almost $4,000 in school taxes. You get punished for excellence. You get punished for being a hard worker. You don't get rewarded. And for that, that's why I'm out. I'm done. I love bowling, but I don't love what it's become. And it's so much, at least in the 518, it's so much about getting people to come out. So let's make it easy for all the little parasites and the snakes and the sandbaggers to come out and compete. Let's make it easier for them. Let's give them a speed lane to prize money. Because we want to punish the bowlers who actually work their ass off to be high average bowlers. But when they bowl on tough things, this is why there's a lot of house shot hacks. Because when I'm the type of bowler, I will challenge myself on a sport shot, on a challenge shot, which means I'm not going to average 230. But I get punished because when I bowl on a house shot, I average 230, but you want to hold my average on a house shot to when I go do your tournament, your challenge tournaments, and all this other tournaments that I do around the state. You want to punish me for that because you want to use my high average, which therefore eliminates me to have any type of handicap when I bowl on harder patterns or a harder tournament. That's fucked up. And that's why I'm done. I'm good.